back to a new day, a new episode. We've got Adam here joining us today from ATP. As you saw from yesterday, we had an issue with the S14, S15 catch can not lining up with where the turbo is going to be sitting with the RB26. So Adam's come down with a prototype for us, and we're going to try something new and custom for it, and hopefully give you guys a product as well that you could use for your modified cars. Alrighty, so as you can see, Adam's just dummy fitted up the S14, S15 one again. Perfectly great catch can. SRs, they work really well because the turbo is actually further back, or it's normally low mounted, so there's no issues with clearance. But in the 26 conversion, we're going straight into the turbo. We're just going to meld lines and have lots of issues.
These ones are 3 litres in capacity, so they're designed for cam specifications. The issue obviously being the turbo in the way. So these are version 2 for the S15, to fit nice and low. So this design is based off of another catch can I make for another vehicle, which sits in the same location, just a couple of minor modifications to this to make it suit with intercooler pipes. This tank, Sam, is designed to be a radiator overflow and catch can all in one, but for this application, probably just the catch can.
It's perfectly fine to have the overflow model.
Yeah, just for capacity. So this is 3 litres without the overflow bottle.
Okay, yeah.
So being that this is a 2.6 litre if it's not stroked, it'll want to be a 3 litre catch can. And then I would suggest we make something else cool to go elsewhere.
Plenty of room, as I mentioned before, so it's all trial and error, but I think this new catch can in this location will lend to a much longer lasting breather lines and a longer lasting product. Alrighty, so we sort of quickly breezed over this in yesterday's filming. We're going to relocate the ABS. This is where it sits from factory. Obviously a big problem with the dump pipe. We'd have to route that and do some heat shielding and stuff to protect the ABS unit. So what we're going to do, if I just wriggle it off of the base here, is we're going to move it into here. So what I want to do today is cut this bracket apart so we can still use this U-shaped piece and move that over to here, and then hopefully with chopping everything up, I could reuse some of the mounting holes and maybe some of the other ones in and around here, and we can relocate that more inboard where it's easy to protect it from heat. And with the way that the ABS lines are routed to here, from moving it from there to here, I may not have to extend all of the lines, and the ones I do would have to be probably extended a minimum amount, which I want to try to avoid extending them at all. And yeah, so we'll start cutting and seeing if we can make it work. So what we're just going to do here now is we're just going to cut off these 2 welds here, and the 2 welds off the bottom, actually these ones, these 2 welds here, and that will allow us to remove this whole U-shaped bracket. I'll mount it back to this and we'll find a nice location for it. And then what I'll come back is I'll cut this off, and then I'll work out what size bracket or tab I need to make to weld back onto this. And then we'll make some supports off the back so that it doesn't move and there's no vibrations that are going to cause the actual mount to break or snap. Now we have a bracket that we can use to re-weld, but still hold the ABS one. clean, but we can buff that up later. But for now, we'll play around with how it fits. ABS unit, we've cut off the rear mount for it. So now when we sit this in, we can sort of see that the mount is almost directly underneath, and we should be able to just make a bracket to sit on sort of flat off here, an L bracket down. I might even just make it a C bracket and then weld it onto this, and that will make the structural mount to take the weight of it, and then we'll just make some brackets off the back to support it so it doesn't move back and forth and vibrate around. Alrighty, sorry about the bonnet prop in my way, but we're going to relocate the power steering reservoir up the back here. The reason being is I am going to make a cover that will hide all of this, hide the ABS lines, and then hide the ABS module over there. So I'm just going to rebend this bracket to be 90 degrees, and then we'll measure across, and then we'll make a bend to whatever angle we need to get it to match up there, and then I can hopefully use that bolt hole just down here and mount the power steering res here, and then we'll look for a aluminium one that has AN lines on the bottom of it to mount into the factory bracket, and we should be right. We should be able to just rerun power steering lines to the pump and from the rack for the return, and have everything working nice and fine, but out of sight, out of mind. Yeah, so that gives you a rough idea. Sort of just sit in the bracket there, and we'll make some bends to the bottom half so that we can fit it there, but I'll have to reroute the line here for the washer jets is the word I'm trying to think of, because it's right, it's going to get squashed basically once I finish bending the bracket up. So there we go.
There's no foothold.
Do you want love and to be fed? Well, help me plug our merchandise, boy. Come here. That was your cue. Thanks. That's it. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. How could you deny that happy, goofy face? Hey, now that I've got your attention, if you jump on www.otakugarage.com and /merchandise, you too could own one of these t-shirts.
Like that.
Today we've got some more unboxing and some more goodies to talk about and start test fitting up. You've seen us in previous episodes try the A cross member, try the B cross member, finally track down a C, and we're going to put that in today. Going by a little eyeball alignment, looks like it's going to be the one that we've needed the entire time, and we'll find out today. So come along for the journey as we unbox some goodies and show you what we've got going on. Alrighty, so we've got a few goodies here that have arrived over the last week, just to help us piece together the puzzle of the gearbox. I've got in a backing plate and some dowels to properly line up the gearbox so that when we put a starter motor on it, it's going to be in its right location and rightly spaced. We've got our Nismo mount that we tried fitting on the last episode, and this time we have the C cross member. So hopefully the combo today means we can bolt it up. I've got some ARP flywheel bolts, some gearbox bolts, and then we've got a Frenchie's Performance high output alternator. So let's open up some boxes and have a look. We do have a shiny red Nismo twin plate to go into this. These are always fun to install. And for a twin plate, they're very quiet. So, reasoning for going with the Nismo twin plate. This isn't a pure track car, this is a street car, and the Nismo twin plate is, in my opinion, one of the quietest twin plates on the market, and it will comfortably hold the power goals for the customer. So this is going to be the best bang for buck and best option that we think will suit this job. Plus, color matching to the covers. We have the Frenchie's high output alternator and bracketry setup. These are a really important upgrade that we like to do with RBs. These are 140 amp output from factory. Nissans with the SRs and RBs are only an 80 or an 85 output alternator. So when we're putting nice big thermos on there, a lot of extra sensors, bigger ECU, the demand for voltage becomes a really tight battle. And if you want proper cooling, this is what you need to upgrade. Too often we see and hear people go, no, stick with the clutch fan because thermos are no good, they don't pull enough air. And 9 times out of 10, it's because they do not have an alternator capable of spinning the fans fast enough to get the right airflow through the radiator. So always, if you're upgrading your cooling, upgrade your alternator along with it. If you're adding a lot more sensors or a bigger ECU, again, upgrade your alternator, you won't regret it. Got some reinforced bolts. ARP fasteners are the way to go. We always use these, always have good results with them. The amazing C crossmember. This one has been a unicorn to find. This is actually one we're going to be borrowing for the test fit, and if it works, then I'll be ordering in a brand new one, and that will take about 8 weeks to get here. So this will help us get to that point and know what we need to order. So if you guys are looking for upgrades or wanting some advice on getting upgrades for your car, you can email us at info@otakugarage.com.au, and our sales team will respond to you as fast as we can to help you get the best product for your car. Alrighty, so we finally got the C crossmember. Mr. Internet tells me this is supposed to work, so this is the 3rd attempt at a crossmember on this before I bite the bullet and just make one. So let's see if this is going to work and save all of my woes. And you know what? It's not. That lined up with the mount is still off-centered of the bolt holes. So basically you got these 2 holes where the 4 bolts go through, and the rear hole is lining up with the center hole. So in other words, we still need the crossmember to be much further forward and to use that mount. So we'll either have to modify this or make a custom one entirely, which isn't an issue. We're just trying to hope to keep it OEM as possible. It means less mod plates to get it registered again. That will bolt in there. Sweet. Don't have any bolts for this one today, but at least we know that the power steering pump will also fit with no modifications. Will all line up. But the customer may still go electric yet. We'll see what his final decision is there, whether he wants to hide an electric power steering pump or we go with hydraulic still.
The finished version of the dash cam has a labyrinth baffle in the front to separate the incoming air, and the outgoing filter is a E85 foam topped with a fine filter foam for the breather, instead of having little hot breathers on the catch cans, and all finished in a nice powder coat black.
Cool.
And that's my ATP catch can, and it will be a custom version for this car.
Do you want to explain to people why those little drift cans are so much more insignificant to having a larger catch can?
Two reasons. One is capacity. So the blow-by from the engine, every engine is different, but it's the flow rate. So if there's not enough capacity inside the can, they pressurise and blow out the filters, or pressurise and lock the lines for the breather. My catch cans are both size-wise to CAM's spec regulations, which is some Australian rules for track racing. And with my cans, I have a labyrinth baffle to slow down the airspeed when the air comes into the catch can. So slowing down the airspeed does two things. It separates the oil from the air and scrubs off a whole bunch of heat from that blow bite, which also helps separate any liquids from the air as well. The outlet filter in 2 stages does the same thing. So anything left inside the can before it runs out, the force filter is again scrubbing off any excess liquid in the air, and then the fine filter. The original idea from the fine filter was if there's ever any vacuum in the crankcase, the PCV is still connected and you've got 2 lines going into an atmospheric venting catch can, you may get vacuum situations in the crankcase. So the fine filter 5 acts as an air filter as well as a final stage breather. So if there's any suction, you've got something to take apart from. It's like
that is enough reason not to buy a cheap catch can and buy a quality product like ADP, which you can buy from our website as well.
Absolutely. Size is everything.
Thank you, Adam, for coming down yet again and helping us out with the custom build. Adam on multiple occasions has travelled big distance to come help prototype a new product for us to sell or use on a one-off job. So it's great. We're grateful that he's only 7 minutes away now, so we can team up hopefully in the future for some more jobs, and we can't wait to see the finished product of the prototype.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll bring you guys along for the build of this particular catch can, and I guess I'll see you when it's ready to install.
See you then. So that brings us to the end of another episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. We did talk a fair bit more than we usually do because parts are just rocked up, and due to delays with shipping, we've still got a lot more parts that we're waiting on to rock up. So hold on, there is a lot of content coming, a lot of work being done on the car in future episodes. So we hope you stick around to watch them. Come join us. Thanks for watching again. So one thing I did forget to mention quickly, Adam has his own personal YouTube channel as well. So we'll leave a link in the description for it. Go check it out. It's just basically days in the life of Adam, so anything that he's into you'll get to see and enjoy. Has a bit of
think vlogging, think welding, making stuff, whatever I'm doing that I'm interested in, I make a video about it.
Yeah, so be sure to jump down in the description, go check it out, and subscribe to him as well.
Thank you.